And these guys are just hucking these rigs. This thing looks like if you throw a cat off a porch, it's just through the air. Woo! Hey guys, it's Ben Spinney from Mountain Mafia Entertainment. You might know who we are from our family-friendly vehicular violence or some of the viral Havoc Style Racing videos out there. We're in my shop today. It's mid-January, it's snowboard season, but it's also Havoc prep time. I'm standing with the Triggered machine. I built this rig 9 years ago. This is my 9th winter working on this thing in my shop. And we got a lot of broken parts, and my man Gray pretty much destroyed this thing this year. So I'm gonna try to get it back together for our February 21st deep freeze season opener. It's Havoc Style Racing in the winter time. Let's take a look at the Triggered machine. This starts as a wide open design chassis that was shipped to us, and I think I put more tubing on this than was actually here to start. And I built a set of axle techs. We do all this work in-house here. I have a CNC table, and I actually went to school for some suspension and steering geometry when I worked for Ford back in the late 1900s. But I didn't know what I was really learning at the time, and I just wanted that extra $1 an hour. But when I started actually doing 4-links and custom fab and racing many years ago, I realized that that's what they were teaching me. So I've tried to put it to good use, and this is one of the rigs that I built. Like I said, we started this about 9 years ago. We pulled the motor out of Gray's boat, and it's an 8.1. It's a whole 390 horsepower. But he is one of the only guys that consistently breaks these Axletech U-joints. So you can see right here, there's actually a broken U-joint that we have to deal with. So one of the things that I'm tackling this winter is I've designed and created my own U-joint, and we'll show you more on that as these videos progress. But the idea is to build a 4340 body and a 300M cap and get away from these cast U-joints that we're breaking all the time. So that's just one thing we're dealing with. We have some tubing to fix back here. Let's go take a look. We're gonna rewrap these headers. It's really nice and great to get this all cleaned up for me, huh? Actually, it was pretty clean, but you pull the body panels off, and this is all the mud that creeps in there from the ranch and the racing that we do. So definitely have a lot of cleanup to do. I am gonna go through all of those U-joints like I talked about. We're gonna go through all the brakes, the pinion brakes and everything. I'm gonna check every single bolt. We're gonna service all the oils in it. Up underneath here, you can kind of see some of the bent and broken tubing from some of the crashes and rollovers that has happened to this machine this year. So I got some fabrication work to do. We might be putting a new set of tires on this. We're gonna try to work out something with Mickey Thompson. Some of our friends with Mickey Thompson are trying to get involved in that Havoc Style Racing. So we're pretty excited about that as well. This machine runs a Bowman transmission, Turbo 400. Haven't had any trouble there. We run a Hero transfer case on this, and we've had a couple problems with that thing. We're gonna hang on to it until we break it, and then we're gonna shit can it and probably go to an SCS like I run in my truck. But so far, so good with all of that. Everything is 1480 joints, big thick wall, thick tube drive lines. And as you know from the videos, Gray just absolutely abuses this thing. So for what he puts it through, I should say, this thing holds up quite well. Gonna do some good maintenance on it, try to improve a few things. I know the battery switch is not exactly where he wants it. Somebody hit it with their elbow and shut it off in a race, even though I put it exactly where they asked me to. Some minor adjustments and get right back to racing with the Triggered machine. One of the first things on my list is to get these shocks shipped back to Jensen Brothers. We run the ORI Struts on this, and they have held up amazing for what we put this machine through. No limit straps, no bump stops, 8,500 pound-ish vehicle, and we just beat the crap out of it all the time. Those shocks have held up really good until this last Havoc. We got some leaks and we got some seals poking out, so we're gonna box those up, send them back to Jensen Brothers. They're gonna rebuild them, do some updates, and get us back on track. You guys, if you're liking this video, if you're liking the behind the scenes and some of this Havoc tech and what goes on here in the shop, hit the like button, follow our channel because we got a lot more to show you guys. Let's come over here and check out these ORI Struts. Check it out. Here's one of the seals poking out right here. That's probably from when he flipped over on the rock course, or maybe it was the backflip on the hill climbs. He put him to the test. I know they say you don't need to run limiting straps, and we've been okay for a long time. Not. It's time for some limiting straps and some bump stops to try to give these guys a little better chance of survival during this family-friendly vehicular violence of the Havoc Style Racing. We added all those jumps this year, and these guys are just hucking these rigs. This thing looks like if you throw a cat off a porch, it's just through the air. You know, it sucks it up pretty good, but these are some big hits that these things are taking. So we're gonna try to give these guys another chance, see if we can get them rebuilt. We're making a burrito with some ORI Struts. Send these back to the boys. See if they can rebuild them. They're probably gonna laugh at us. They don't make a box the size that I want, at least not where we're at, so we are cutting and folding and molding together. We're using a blend of cheap electrical tape, moving blankets, expensive tape that I don't know where it came from.
My man builds buggies that jump 40 feet, cost 6 figures. And he makes a box like this.
All right, guys, we got these suckers all boxed up, ready to go back to Jensen Brothers. Hopefully they can rebuild these things, save us some money rather than buying some new struts. This was a huge pain in the ass, so I really hope that they can get these taken care of for us. I'm sure they can. Hopefully you guys like these videos we're doing. This is one of our very first attempts at doing some behind the scenes, in the shop, Havoc stuff. We got a lot more to show you guys, so tell us what you think. Tune in, like it, and we'll get better, I promise. So we're done for today. We're gonna work on some snowboards. We're going riding tomorrow. I'll see you in the ditch.